This is the 10 o'clock news on Boston's WB56.
I'm hopeful that for all these survivors, that if they can come to agreement on this and come to terms and agree to settle, that maybe they can start to put this part behind them.
A new bishop and a new settlement offer from the church. Tonight, victims of sex abuse say they hope the healing can begin. $55 million, that's the offer on the table tonight to the more than 500 alleged victims of sex abuse who are suing the church. It's a sign the newly installed Archbishop Shawn O'Malley is looking to move forward. Jim Smith is live at the Cathedral of the Holy Cross with the very latest. Good evening, Jim.
Good evening, Christina. As you well know, this cathedral has been the scene of much controversy and protest in recent years. But tonight, a ray of hope. Tonight, a possible settlement in the priest abuse case. But all sides agree that much more work needs to be done.
For all of us, what we want is the church to say, we're sorry.
Phil Saviano says it's never been about the money. The victims of sexual abuse by priests say they simply want accountability from the church and some sense that it won't happen again. Tonight, Archbishop O'Malley's new $55 million offer is seen as a hopeful sign.
A settlement like this is symbolic, and it helps for the plaintiff to have a certain amount of self-respect and a certain amount of satisfaction in knowing that they had the courage to speak up, break the silence, and hold a very powerful organization accountable for the harm that was done to them as a child.
The framework for the agreement came after a day-long meeting at the Hotel Meridian in downtown Boston, featuring 35 lawyers. Again, there was a feeling that the new church leadership was a huge factor.
I think the credit goes to Bishop O'Malley. Archbishop O'Malley has accomplished more in 10 days than has been accomplished in the 2 years preceding his being here.
And more cautious hope tonight from an Archdiocese spokesman.
I guess sometimes a fresh voice and a fresh view of things can sometimes see ways of solving problems that hadn't been apparent before, or can move things along in a new way, and that seems to be what's happening right now.
I'll sit down with my clients and I'll say, listen, finally they're acting in good faith. I know it's been years, but finally they're doing something. Finally they're meaning what they say. Will they reject it later on? Will they withdraw it later on? Who knows?
We shall see. The plaintiffs in this case, that being the alleged victims, have 30 days to either accept or reject this offer, and it doesn't even go into effect unless 95% of them give their okay. Incidentally, in another symbolic move, the Archbishop O'Malley today announced that he would be living right here in the rectory at the Cathedral of the Holy Cross instead of at the Chancery in Brighton. Yet another symbolic move. Live at the Cathedral tonight, Jim Smith, the 10 o'clock news.